what most people downplay about the New World Order is why this is happening in the first place. Why they have chosen philosophies that are similar to Satanism and can be best described perhaps as Luciferianism, and sexual sadism at the core motivation. Of course, they're concerned with controlling the money and the pussy and making people want to be like them. Okay. They are inclined to insist that people accept evil because of the stigma on white skin and white culture. Okay, white-skinned people and white culture. I have 8 points here, and there's a lot of other things that prove my point that I've gone over in my videos. But let's look at it this way. I'll try to be succinct and precise. Number 1, the Roman stigma, right? The Greeks magically escaped the stigma of the Romans, right? Who crucified Christ versus who translated the Bible. Hey, there's a Roman stigma. And of course you have the Greek societies in college, and the nerds try to convince you that they're the good guys, when actually they're the main bad guys, right? The richest people, Bill Gates, right? Eugenicists, right? This Amazon guy. To be fair, I don't know exactly how bad he is, but the rich people are the nerds, and they're the most guilty. What are they doing with their money and their influence, right? Kissinger, okay? Soros, okay? The Rothschilds, these are nerds. These aren't bodybuilders. These aren't martial artists. These are nerds. They want you to be a sapiosexual so you can discuss these things with a bunch of nerds who aren't going to do anything about it. Okay? That's how they apply the idea of intelligence from a nerd kind of effeminate female brain scale. Again, number 1, the Roman stigma, right? It was combated a little bit with chivalry, right? The knights are somewhat rooted in Roman culture, and they combated the stigma on Rome killing Jesus and all the orgies and all the Roman treachery and political evil activity, if you will, with chivalry and the church. Well, chivalry dies, and pedos and politics have stigmatized the church, as you have a very evil, predominantly Christian society, a colonialist society, a neo-colonial society. So in popular culture, these things are stigmatized, and it's in the subconscious and the unconscious of everybody. So subconsciously and consciously, people know that white-skinned people are stigmatized. Okay. Number 2, colonialism in more recent history especially. 1776 is a point of conflict which they have lost miserably, okay, in terms of what people actually perceive is true. Okay. The native, so Columbus came here. Was it a good thing? No. Okay. The native genocide. The railroading of the Chinese and all the poor disenfranchised people that worked on the railroads, right? Who made them do it and why? Okay. The banks, slavery, okay? African wars and the disenfranchisement and starvation of African people on a massive scale that most people are aware of didn't really occur until after colonialism. That's when we see these people grouped together in ways and forced to live their lives in ways that they can't really sustain, and we see millions wiped out in some cases from starvation as a result. Not to mention 4 million people dead in the Second Congolese War, these massive wars that didn't occur until after colonialization. Okay. Globalization, racism, like the KKK and the neo-Nazis, right? These have stigmatized white people. Okay. Institutional racism, the LGBT community, right? If you're a Christian from another race, right, and you're looking at where does this LGBT sin come from according to your religion, whether you're right or not, to be diplomatic, okay, you look at a white source of this. This didn't happen until colonialism and until these people spread and influenced your children, kind of thing. Occultism, Satanism, the Civil War, rich white people fighting with Confederate white people over whether or not they want to let their slaves go, okay, while they're whipping, raping, and overworking and beating them and so on and so forth. These are strong stigmas that will never go away, as long as people think of themselves as more good than evil. That's why they try to get people to accept Satanism and Luciferianism and a kind of yin-yang checkered floor idea of accepting evil, taking the good with the bad. Number 3, the embrace of pirates. Pirates of the Caribbean. Right? Barbarians, Conan the Barbarian. Other barbarian cultures that various European ethnic groups have that are labeled by the Romans barbarians. Viking cultures, right? The Viking TV show, the Viking football team, right? And so on and so forth. These things stigmatize white people as evil, right? They present the idea that they're evil. Number 4, bikers, rock and roll, devil music, right? Snobbing people, goths, vampires, the term white devil, which we see perhaps being used less these days, but it stigmatizes white people, and the fact that people are using these things less, on some level people are conscious of that, and that idea stigmatizes these people as the people who got you to accept evil as good. Number 5, white-skinned people behind designing Babylon system, right? Baby LN, right? To be immature and not do man up and do the right thing, right? Mystery, right? The mist over airy, the ear and the eye, who you listen to, and you see mist, airy, ear, eye, and A-Ra, keeping you from seeing the alpha male. Right? These are the people behind this system, and to some level, people are aware that they have screened out heroes, and the heroes in popular culture like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Right? Number 6, the unfair stigma of blacks. People, for the most part, you'll be hard-pressed to find someone, whether they're playing stupid or not, who doesn't know that blacks are unfairly stigmatized, etc. They created the system. Okay? They bred the people in the system, and they benefit from this system. Then they benefit from the unfair stigma of the people they oppress. Then they use mind control to confuse you. People are aware of these things of every step of this process. They don't necessarily write it down like I do and organize their thinking like I do, but some people at least are aware that when people do, they get stigmatized with mental disorders. I'm the one writing things down and organizing my thoughts more effectively than they are. Who's mentally ill? The top martial artist who organizes his thoughts? Or these unorganized, drugged up, pothead, alcoholics, druggies, and other forms of disorganized, sugar-filled mind state having people? People are aware of the black president and superficial dating that is going on, right? This idea that you're included. When you do something superficial and scream how that means that they're included, people are aware of that, and you're stigmatized. Okay, the undesirable, you try to get the undesirable women of your race to date these people, right? Poor liberals, unattractive liberals, right? You have a few token exceptions. People are aware. This is covert tricking based mixing, right? And then you have the crypto Jew thing. Some people are aware of this thing, right? But and it does factor in. Okay, if you have say if you have 2 Jewish families from Israel, for example, they go and use their money and social clout to sleep with a black. One family sleeps with a black woman, the other family sleeps with a white woman or whatever, and they have children, and those children mix together. We see that they have similar traits in their faces, and they're associated with Jews, right? A lot of people pick up on that, and therefore it stigmatizes white-skinned people and white-skinned culture even more, fairly or otherwise. Number 7, the frustration of overweight people and trying to reach out to a small group of attractive people. Okay, what system created a bunch of unattractive women, for example, and the snobby, attractive women, the gold diggers that are left? Not all gold diggers, not all women are gold diggers. All attractive women are, whether they admit it or not. They're trying to find their lives, which is a form of being a gold digger if you really work the angles on that. And they're gold diggers. You're hard-pressed to find one that's not. So you're being snubbed by these people who are in the culture of these white-skinned people who designed Babylon's system. Okay. And these are the snobs who have been allowed to look attractive or good. Allowed by who? Who, what, when, where, how, why? And people are aware of these things. Generally speaking. Number 8, in this case. Some of these things, no one misses it. Number 8, the police, Donald Trump, Hitler, Stalin, King George. There's a lot of examples like this, right? People are aware of it, right? What was it? Mary Antoinette, right? Give them cake, right? This kind of, there's a serious problem. Well, hey, I'm going to say some dumb shit, right? That makes you hate somebody. It makes you really resent them, if not hate them. Okay? People are aware of people in power saying dumb shit instead of addressing their real problems. And some of their problems are very pressing. and it stigmatizes these people. So their answer is to get you to accept evil, don't be sensitive to injustice, and don't reject them because you're sensitive to injustice. This is why the New World Order is happening, and its core is sexual sadism. The least sensitive to people's pain are control freaks who are sexually sadistic, sexual sadists, sadism, sad eyes. The M is for magic. Thank you.